This evening we're going to make some mango chow. It's a dish that my husband introduced to me, and so I already cut up and sliced up 2 mangoes, and I'm gonna cut up this mango because I've seen on the internet many different ways of cutting up mango, and they always haven't been successful. So I'm going to show you how I do it. But really, I think just cutting up anything is work with your successes. You know, if it works for you, then that's good. You don't have to change it up, or somebody's like, this is how you should do it. Do what works for you. And so this is what works for me, is I cut up around the seed because it has a pretty hard flat seed in there. And then I cut that chunk in half, and then I cut this chunk in half. My husband said that how he does it is he peels the mango and then cuts it, but I like doing it this way. So it's like whatever works for you. And then I'm going to take a spoon, and I'm going to put the spoon kind of in between the rind of the mango and the meat of the mango. And if you can tell, it's kind of a struggle, and it is a struggle. That's why I was like wanting to show you. But what I've discovered is that this is the best way that I know of to get most of the meat from the mango. And so I'm just going to kind of peel this off. That didn't work. And so it's a good way to get the meat away from the rind of the mango. And you're not wasting a lot of mango. So you just kind of have mostly rind there and not much mango. I am going to scrape this off, and I'll probably just eat that later because it's kind of a thin piece. I could put it in if I wanted to too. And so I'm going to continue to do this. See, it kind of takes some muscle. I'm going to kind of continue to do this and get these pieces out of the rind of the mango. And so as you see, there's quite a bit of mango that is pulled away from the rind. Right, and so and if you can see this rind of this mango, the mango came off pretty smoothly. So I got most of the mango here. And one of the reasons why it was kind of a struggle, is I'm going to go ahead and cut this up into slices, is because this is a firm mango. What I've learned in making chow and eating chow is that you want the mango to be firm, because all of the other stuff that you put with the mango is going to cause the juices to come out, so it's going to get pretty soft pretty quick. So you don't want to buy a real squishy mango. You want it to be pretty firm.
Ripe mango.
Yeah. Not too ripe.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a fresh one.
Half ripe.
Yeah, freshly ripe mango, to where it's still pretty firm. And I like the pieces kind of slim, so that they take in more of the flavoring that we're going to add to the chow. Now, as I kind of finish cutting this, I'm going to kind of start talking a little bit about the challenges that I experienced in making the chow where we live. Now, my husband's from the Caribbean, as I've mentioned in other videos, and they have different vegetables, fruits and vegetables available there than we have here. And you can get some of their fruits and vegetables from specialty stores, but I live in a small country town. We don't have those specialty stores. So one of the challenges, I'm going to kind of cut some of this stuff off. One of the challenges I face is finding some cilantro. It's like a cousin to cilantro, but it's it's a little bit different. It has a little bit more of a bitter bite, and so I'm not able to find it here. We just don't have it here. So I had to come up with something different. So I've come up with I was checking to see if I wanted to eat off this seed later. It's still pretty firm. I might keep that to snack on it later. I'll get rid of this. I came up with parsley. The cilantro is more of a kind of a tartness to it, and the cilantro is a little bit more bitter. And so cilantro to me kind of would match that bitterness from that is kind of in this cilantro. My husband was like, it's not the same, but it's what I have in this small town, and so we're going to see how it does, how it mixes. This is something that if you want to serve it, like before you serve it or eat it, you kind of want to make it early and let all the flavors marry together, because it's as those flavors come together that you really get all of that good taste. And some of the things that parsley is good for, one of the reasons why I'm going ahead and using it is because it's good for, it's a good anti-inflammatory, it's good for bone strength, it's good for circulatory system, and it's really good for anemia. It has a high concentration of iron, and so it does have a lot of health benefits as well. Plus it helps with aiding and or decrease, I was like aiding you if you have bad breath, but decreasing bad breath is not going to increase your bad breath. And so I'm going to add those pieces of mango later. So I'm going to kind of take, make sure I cut this pretty small. We want it pretty small pieces to put and kind of marry well with those mangoes. And this isn't a lot of chow. I've been to family events where they have like a huge bowl of like mango chow or cucumber chow, but this is a small bowl. And so we're just going to add some of this parsley. And so I'm going to kind of measure with that, see how that does. And then kind of see if we want to add the rest of that or not. Another part of what's in the chow, the mango chow, is garlic. And so I already took the skins off the garlic, and I do just simply chop this up old-fashioned style, and little mince it. I think I got a piece of skin right there. That's okay. Can I get rid of it right there? And mince those pieces and put it into the chow. And so I'm going to put 2 cloves of garlic in the chow. So I want I am working with a new knife tonight, so I'm not as familiar with the way this knife works as my other ones. It works out pretty well. So maybe it's a little sharper than what I'm used to. So it's running through this food a little bit faster. And that is something, if you change out utensils, you do have to get used to those new utensils. So always be careful, especially with a new knife, that you work carefully with it and don't just expect it to be like other knives that you use. The way they handle, their sharpness, it all changes. So kind of be aware of that if you're changing utensils. Okay, and so now I'm going to kind of mix this up a little bit. I'm going to cut up the habanero. This is one of the staples, I think, of chow. What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
My husband is filming this tonight, and so we're working together. Remember, I take the seeds out because the seeds are hard on the colon, and we need to be, take care of ourselves. I take care of my dad, so I'm going to make sure that we're taking care of all of our physiological needs. And so I'm going to slice this up pretty thin. And I was trying to slice up, when you slice up a pepper, it actually is easier to slice, for me, to slice up on the inside of the pepper, because I can hold it with more control. But that's where all the capsaicin is. And so sometimes when I slice with the inside of the pepper, my fingers are burning for hours. So I'm trying to slice up on the outside of the pepper, but it does bring a little bit more challenges. It's not as easy to control. I like slicing it up into small, mincing in tiny, small minced pieces. I think this allows for the pieces to kind of go through in different areas of the chow, and you're not like biting a whole big chunk of habanero. But if you really enjoy eating habanero, you can leave it in bigger chunks if you want. It's your food. You kind of prepare it the way you like. And so we're adding these different things to the chow. And I'm only going to put one habanero in the chow. And now I'm going to add some Himalayan salt. That was several turns. And you kind of even see, I was kind of waiting for an indication of like, that's enough, but he doesn't see anything. My husband's watching me as, he's filming. So I kind of want his input every once in a while, since he's the expert. His chow, I think it's great. He makes excellent chow. And now we're gonna kind of stir this up.
You might want to put a little more salt.
More salt, okay. I thought there was a lot of salt in here.
Himalayan salt is not as potent as iodized salt.
Okay. I was thinking, I like those chunks of it. I kind of like that crisp taste, that crisp crunch that the Himalayan salt gives, or any cracked, freshly ground salt. But you can even do that with the sea salt as well. And so we're kind of mixing this in a little bit. As you can see, it has a real pretty color here so far, with the color from the mango and the habanero and the parsley. And so it's looking real beautiful. I'll go ahead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to taste a little piece and see how we're doing with the salt. We could use a little bit more salt. I'm already beginning to taste the heat. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper as well. The heat from the habanero, which is really nice. I like a little bit extra salt. And this is really good in the summertime. So if you've been out in the summer heat, then this is something that kind of helps you retain your fluids a little bit more effectively, and give you some of that vitamin C from the mango and parsley. Kind of help you recover from some of the vitamin C from the habanero, some of that summer heat a little bit. But nowadays, because food is grown in a nursery, you can have a mango in the middle of winter or, any time of the year. So I'm going to taste this real quick and kind of see how it's coming together. Even though it hasn't had a lot of time to marry, the flavors are already starting to mix. So I'm going to kind of see how it's coming together.
Don't forget your hands need to be washed before you touch your face and the rest of your body.
Yes, my husband's reminding me. Last time I cut up some peppers, I had all that capsaicin on my fingers and I touched my face, and so I had to deal with that while I was sleeping because it was even burning after my shower. But it actually has a really good flavor. It has a good heat to it. I think the parsley didn't really change the flavor too much. It didn't bring a lot of bitterness to it. It is nice though. It's nice and light. And it will have some health benefits as well with the mango, the parsley, and the habanero, and the garlic in there. I am going to ask my husband to kind of grab a piece and taste it and tell me what he thinks, since he is the mango chow expert in this household. I'm gonna kind of film him. All right. Good. All right. So I don't know how I framed that up, but so this is a dish that I pulled from different experiences, and I had to modify it because of what's available in my area. And so instead of just like, leaving the ingredient out, which is something that we also can do, I also try to think about what other ingredients do we have that might bring that same kind of fresh, kind of earthy flavor that the green vegetables bring, the green herbs bring. And so we tried to add something in. It tastes pretty good to me. I think it's pretty good. But this is a good meal for a summer day, for an added treat on the side of a dish, and I think it's really pleasant. And so comment, tell me what you think about the additions, tell me what you would have changed if you are enjoying mango chow with the Contro and that's not available. What would you use instead? And kind of give me some hints. And like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Bye bye.